Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think you'll have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give, something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now I know. Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give, something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? Hey Shauna, how you doing? We haven't been on for a while. I've been trying to get this app right. I got it right, but I did something wrong. But hopefully they'll get back with me and we'll correct it. So, I haven't been working on it. So today I said, well, I'm gonna work on it. I do gotta go to work tonight. But I got up early this morning just because it's been about a good week or two. Like, shoot, I had to put in 7 straight days. So that was a lot. Anyway, we're doing our thing. We are doing it. And it'll be all right. Life is good. Life is good. So how you doing? That's what I wanted to know. How's everyone's doing? And we're back on track again after they're gonna have to refund me some money here. So once we get the refund back, everything will be okay. But other than that, yeah, we're good. So how's everybody been doing? Like they've been like, oh, where you been? What's going on? What's going on? Something's wrong? Like, no, I just had to work a lot of shifts and a lot of days straight. And then it's time for me to renew my license and everything. So, I'm getting in the middle of that and just a lot. But we are back. Hopefully they'll get my message and do what they need to do with what they need, what they got. So hopefully that'll work. Yeah, I did mess up on something right there by trying to get my channel back because it was like doing some weird stuff. So, ugh. But it's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. It'll do what it do. Yeah, I'm kind of like, like when something happened, you kind of be like, well, I don't even use a lot of the things that they give us to use, and I don't know what to do about it because I be trying. I do be trying. So, but yeah, we're back on track again, and I hopefully they'll resubmit everything and get everything back like it was. I see we got some of our stuff back, but like they owe me so much money. It's like I don't know, but I might just keep it the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Because it's done. What's done is done, and sometimes, that's normally best. I wasn't trying to do that. So, but it is early Sunday morning, and I'm going to thank the Lord for everything today. I am. I wasn't trying to do that part there, but it did what it did. It keeps putting me in a bad situation. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But I am glad that we got our intros back in there, and I don't know about the banners. They said you could do it on media insert. I don't know about media insert. They were saying something about you got media insert. Oh, she's like transform overlays on stage. You can now size and reposition overlays without leaving the studio. Select an overlay. Then click. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have any overlays, but I guess I will get some. It's crazy. Oh, here's some overlays. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about stuff like that. They're talking about that. They're giving me that. Like you could just boom. And then you could go in there and you can put it on transform, and I don't know. I do it. Oh, Lord. How about that? So, yeah. And I guess you could do
No, stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, I've been working on just little stuff around, just here, there, the house, But anyway, let me tell you what I done, or let me tell, because I know the others, they'll come in here, they'll be like, "Oh, she was on today." Yeah, we'll get back on track. We're just getting back on track. That's all we're doing today, just trying to just get back on track. But yesterday I went to the movies and to see this movie, and I don't know if you go to the movies or not or whatever, but there's a movie called Is God Is. And I thought, well, because it has the word God in it and it's in the middle and it's like it's, it just draws you to it. So I'm like, I'm gonna go and see this movie. Is God Is. It just came out. It just came out on the 15th. And so we were going to go see it on the 15th. And what happened was we ended up going out to eat. And since we didn't make reservations, they act like they had to cook it on the spot, which they did. The only thing they have to cook is an 8-minute fish, but the fish was good. Let me tell you, the fish was good. It was a little bit too crunchy, but the fish was good. It was. But anyway, they had, well, let me tell you about that. I ordered the catfish in, what was it? Catfish in, what did I order? Oh, fish and spaghetti. I ordered fish and spaghetti. Okay. Some people be like, what are you talking about, fish and spaghetti? Well, it's a Southern thing. You got to be from the South to know fish and spaghetti does go together. That's kind of like, it's just wherever you go. Anyway, a lot of people in the Midwest where I'm at, they don't know nothing about that. So when you try to entertain them and say, hey, we're going to have some fish and spaghetti, they're like, what? Fish and spaghetti? Fish and spaghetti? That don't even go together. Well, fish does go with spaghetti and also grits. So we're going to have fish and spaghetti, fish and grits, I would like to have some fish and potatoes and fish and green. We got greens and we gonna have cabbage. So I'm just trying to make my menu what I want the menu to be, and then I'm gonna start working on how I know how to cook everything, but I don't have it wrote down. Like it's all in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like when I cook my, my mashed potatoes or my grits or whatever, I want it wrote down so it'll be where it's the same consistency all the time. I said that word and I have a speech impediment. I said consistency. Yes. Anyway, so I want to write everything down so that it will be the same every time they come. They won't say, well, it was a hit and miss. Oh, it was good today. Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with her yesterday. Da-da-da-da-da. Because you only need to get one bad view. And people love to say something negative, especially our people. They love to say a negative thing when they see it, which I'm the same way. Like if you ain't on your A game, yeah, I'm gonna tell you, because if I don't tell you, I'm trying to do you a service. If I don't tell you, how would you correct it? You be thinking you got it going on, and I'm like, no, sister, you don't. Like, you need to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? So I do expect the same thing coming from people. So I have to come out being the same. I can't cook like I cook at home where, I don't have recipes. I don't know how much salt I put in. I don't know how much butter I put in, but I put it in, you know. And then people be like, well, how much? Well, I'm not going to tell you my ingredients, but if you want that same taste all the time when you come, I need to provide that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about sharing my ingredients and my recipes. It's about being consistent on the taste and the value of, am I putting value into this? So I did have start a book a long time ago, and it's been years because we started building this food truck. Maybe it's been 15, maybe 20 years ago, and it's here. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people think they can't do it. It just may take a long time. You'd be like 20 years, yeah. But I never did think I was going to get done with it. But, like every year, we were adding this, adding that, adding this, and, you always think something's going to happen, something big or whatever. And things do happen, your jobs, they drop and you can't put more money into it. You got to, you got to do this. The kid gets sick and, and then you got a death in the family and then you're breaking up and, getting divorces and, or you getting in a relationship, just all kind of stuff happens. So anyway, like I was saying, I'm going to write down everything. Hey, Jacqueline, how you doing? Nice to see you in the building. I was just sitting there talking to Shauna, and I was telling her, we hadn't been on for a while. We were trying to get our live back, and so there was a lot of things I had to do and fill out, and we're back, but I was trying to do something different, and anyway, it did what it did. But I might keep it that way. Who knows? I don't think it really saved us any money. But she said, I thought I missed you. No, we've been on for about 15 minutes, and we just sitting here talking. How you been? How have you been? So yes, we're gonna start coming back on, and I just got to let everybody know. So I'm gonna be coming on very regularly, just so that if people think that we just coming on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday, no, you'll see me all the time. You'll see me all the time. Because if they're going to charge me almost $500, like, shoot, you're going to have to see me. You're going to have to see me because, it is what it is. I wish they wouldn't have took that amount, but they did. But nevertheless, people, businesses, she said, good, waiting for my husband at work to pick. Oh, you waiting on your husband to pick you up at work? Waiting on my husband at work to pick me up. Oh, okay. So, that's I don't like to be waiting on nobody. But it do feel good. Like some people be like, oh, that's just so bad. You waiting. Well, to be honest with you, you look at that as a good thing, because my husband will not even take me to work unless the car is broke down. The car got to be broke down. The car got to be broke down, and then he'll be like, he wouldn't even know where to pick me up. I work in a whole different little town. He don't even know how to get to this town. So if the car breaks down, I'm in a world of trouble. I told him, I was like, now, when I worked close to the house, he would stop by, bring me some meal, bring me a dinner or two. But he still wouldn't even take me to work, I think he took me to work one time, and that's because we were sharing a car or something of that nature, She said, we miss you. I didn't know y'all knew I was even going anywhere, girl. She said, we missed you. Well, see, you miss your water when your well runs dry. You miss your water. I told y'all. Y'all gonna miss me when I'm gone. But and because sometimes you need those inspiring words of encouragement and somebody that just like what we were just talking about, somebody that's gonna just tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. They're gonna tell you the truth. So, and I want you guys. And here's the thing, I was gonna come on live and then be my picture and you guys see my face because I got the downstairs all together and everything. Actually, I'm doing cleaning. I'm getting a lot of stuff out my house. I got 3 bags of clothes. Well, actually, yeah, I'm working on the 3rd bag and it's pretty much on the table, but I could put it in the bag and it'd be full. So I can say 3 bags of clothes, armoire, a I don't know. I'm just gonna get rid of a lot of stuff. Yes, I was going to start texting you to see what happened. Nothing happened. It's just I signed up for a lot. Okay, first our channel was kind of wiped out for some reason. I don't know what was going on. And then I decided, well, I'll work on that. And then it did something totally crazy where it was hard to even get on. So I was like, okay, well, I'll work on it when I get some time. So I worked on it, got it where it was back up and running, but everything was wiped out. So I had to re-put everything back in and see, because, we pay. We don't get paid to be on here. I pay for us to come on here and enjoy everybody's company and conversation and see where everybody's at, what everybody's doing. She said, I look at you like my mother from far away, and when you don't come, honey, to give your advice on life, I get very sad. Oh, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand. I tell people all the time, I ain't going nowhere. That's why I was saying they gave me an annual fee and they took it out of my account, which is $500. And I wasn't expecting them to do that. I was going to pay monthly, which, but, it is what it is, It is what it is. We'll just leave it at that. We'll figure it out. We will definitely figure it out. So anyway, I was gonna tell y'all I was gonna come on here and I was gonna start coming on just being in person and everything. And I caught this sinus infection where one side of my face, I thought it was a tooth or something, maybe swelling. And it just swelled a little bit, but every day it was swelling a little bit. So I looked in the mirror because, see, I was going to do my hair. So you do know about the calls, right? What calls? No, I don't. What calls? Was somebody calling me? Jarvis's jail calls to all his chicks. No, I don't know. I haven't been around. Because I lost my mom when I was 15, so you're the closest mother figure I had. Did I look up to? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm honored. She said, "Oh my God, SP, I sent you a message." Girl, I haven't even been on that other phone. I'm telling you, I worked maybe Nick. Hold on, let me find the phone. Cause see, it got really hectic in my life. And when things get hectic, I haven't even had that phone on. I haven't even, but I can tell you this. I did want to share this with you guys, and that's why I really wanted to get back on. Um, One of Jarvis's family members, and I'm not going to say who it is, and it's not his sister, and it's not his brother. It's not the brother that's been coming on live. It's not him, you guys. But one of Jarvis's family members did call. Oh, I only got 6%. I'm gonna have to put it on the charger. Where's my dang charger at? Oh, snap. We're gonna have to do something different here. We're gonna have to do something different. Cause you've gotta tell me what I'm missing. You gotta tell me what I'm missing, girl. And so I charge up my phone. So tell me, what have I been missing? She said, I sent you messages. My phone is completely dead. And I charged it up and it don't even look like it's charging. It's got 1%. Whatever. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Tell me, what have I been missing? So let me share with you. You can put it in the chat because my phone is completely dead. It's just 1%. It's just 1%. I don't even look at this phone. And the funny thing about it is, I'm going to have that phone charged up. She said, oh my God. I know. I've been missing you guys. It's been something crazy. But I was telling y'all, and like I said, I be all over the place because I'm ADHD. But nevertheless, I caught this sinus infection, and like a part of my face is swole right by my nose, and it was really small. But then yesterday, when we was leaving the movie, I was like, let's go to the hair place so I can, I want to do my hair and this, that, and the other. And I looked in the mirror because, I normally don't look at myself, but I look in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, my face is swollen on that side. So right before all coming on here and everything, I reached out because my doctor done went to a different place and I don't know where she went because they won't tell me. But anyway, it's okay. I had to get in touch with this other doctor, which knows me that I had left because I wasn't really happy with her practice, but she still has to give me my medication because she doesn't know that I have another doctor. So anyway, I'm like, I've got a sinus infection. And so I just emailed them, and on a Sunday, y'all saying, girl, you lying. No, I'm not. I emailed them, told them what my symptoms was. I do have I don't really have a runny nose, but like I said, it's an infection, and it could be a tooth or something that's abscess. I don't know. I just know that, I've got an infection somewhere. I know that. And so and that's when you heard that bing bing. they were texting me back saying that I have a prescription at the pharmacy that I need to pick up. It's Argument. Um, let me see here. See, let me see. So, well, I want to sign in, but yeah, it's a sinus infection, I believe. Anyway, um, it's a lot. But anywho's, we got that taken care of. And let me just look up because let me see. Okay. They said, we understand you wanted to switch from a yearly to a monthly subscription. This is usually quick to do. Log in. I did that. Log into your StreamYard. Open the plan price. Choose the appropriate link for individuals or plan. Use the toggle to select monthly or weekly if you prefer. Click choose under your preferred plan. A prorated credit for the unused time on your annually plan will be automatically applied to cover the switch to monthly. A prorated credit for the unused time on your annually plan will be automatically applied to cover. The credit doesn't expire and will be used for future renewals or upgrades. Once it's used up, your plan will bill monthly at the standard rate. Oh my God. I'm telling you. Anyway, so they're not going to give me a refund. What they're going to do is give me a credit. It says a prorated credit for the unused time on your annual plan will be automatically applied to cover the switch to monthly. The credit doesn't expire and will be used for future renewals or upgrades. Once it's used up, your plan will bill monthly at the standard rate. Whatever. Okay. Well, that's $500. But anyway, nevertheless, yeah, I messed up. But it's okay because we're going to be here for a year or so anyway. So I'm not worried about it. So I was telling you guys, so I told you guys, well, I'm going to tell you. So one of Jarvis' family members reached out, and that's when everything hit the fan when it came to the StreamYard, where I couldn't get on. The count was there, but I couldn't get on or couldn't talk to you guys and tell you guys what was going on or to listen to it or. And so anyway, I just shut down But anyway, nevertheless, what they had said was they had, I guess they been watching our channel and listening to what we were saying or whatever. And I don't know, they didn't never say nothing in the chat or in the channel that I know of. I mean, I'm not going to go back and take a look and see, because I wouldn't even know what their name was if they were in the channel or not. They could be Miss America and be in the live. I don't know. But anyway, they said that, see, I don't want to say this wrong because people think because people acknowledge them that you patting yourself on the back. No, I'm just telling you what's real. So anyway, I had came on and what there's and here's the funny thing. It's people that you think will say something bad about you, lie on you, cuss you out, say something. They were really nice to me, and they were like, you came on, you were talking about Jarvis, you said this and you said that, and what I said was that, and I don't know if you guys were in there when I said it, but what I said was I had got a phone call about Jarvis had tried to commit suicide. Okay? I'm only going to say that word one time. If you got it, you got it. Okay? We're not going to say that word. I don't really even like the word. We'll say the S word. Then you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyway, and you guys need to check that out because he had this red scar lashing things around his neck. And when he came in the courtroom, we were looking for him, and I was like, you guys see it? And I took a picture and I put it up there, and I was like, but when someone calls you or tell you their cousin is in jail with him and da-da-da. I've had people tell me, oh, I was there when this guy took off running and he ran out the house and I was next door. And that person be lying, because at the end of the day, like, I remember that actually happened. And that person, I was like, come on our channel and tell us. And they was like, yeah. And they was telling us this and telling that. And they was like, shut the door. And they seen him taking off running, and the police, they all grabbed the dude and da-da-da-da-da and all this other stuff. And I was like, wow. And I'm like, who would make up something like that? I mean, you were there? Yeah, SP, I was there. Oh, okay. Shoot, talk to me. Tell me what was going on. Hey, Zena, what's going on? And they came on and they were telling us all this stuff. And then I had got a hold of the guy that they were talking about. I had got a hold of their family that literally raised this guy. So his mother didn't raise him, but the woman that came to the site when they found the baby, she broke down. And I know you guys remember, she broke down and everything. And so I reached out to her and I said, hey, talk to me. And she talked to me. And and I asked her what was going on, what happened, and this, that, and the other. And she told us, she was telling me the story. And I said, now hold on. I heard that when the police picked this guy up, he was over here at this house. And, if you know anything about certain places like Texas and Chicago and things of that nature, and I think it was Chicago. I think the place was in Chicago. No. No. I think it was in Texas. Anyway, it was in a very bad area. It was in a very bad area, and it's in an area where you don't find yourself walking down the street just because you want to. It's a really bad area. And anyway, and she was like, no, uh they came to the house and he was at the house or da-da-da. She had a whole different story. She was like, nah, there was no, he didn't run or anything like that, or I can't remember all the details, but the story was from night and day. And I kind of thought to myself, you must be lying to me, because I know my homegirl that be on our channel, she told me the whole story where she was right next door. And when the police came, he took off running and they were locking the doors and everything. And this happened and that happened. And she was like, yeah, girl, So anyway, long story short, Jarvis's family member said that I had came on and I was telling you guys to look at his neck, that I was told that he had did the S thing, tried to do the S thing. And that they wasn't saying that wasn't true. They were saying that was true. It wasn't the first time. They were saying that was true, but also that it was maybe like a day or two later, I had felt that we needed to pray for him. Now I know y'all going, oh, I remember SP. And you don't have to like me to say what I said, because that's what I said and that's what I did. The spirit was on me and I didn't know why, and I said it back then and I'll say it now. I don't know why, that I felt like we needed to pray for him. But I do know that, and some people be like, nah, he's not a person. He's a monster. He's a this, he's a that. Well, he's gone. But, to pray for him before he did the S thing. And we talked about mercy and grace and how sometimes things happen and we don't foresee the whole thing. So that's why we're not God. And that's why we can't judge. We don't know the whole thing. But I know this. I know, well, thank God you're not God. Thank God you're not God. Because God's job is very hard. That in our eyesight for us to do. It's not hard for him to do it. But he knows what he knows, and things happen, and we don't know the logistics of why. We don't know. Just like when a baby passed or died, we don't know why he allowed that to happen. But he allowed it to happen. Okay? And people get mad when you say he allowed it to happen. Well, why would God allow? Well, he does have control over everything. Let's not get that mistaken. If he wanted to shut it down, he could have and would have. But he allowed it. He let it happen for whatever reason. And you're going to have to talk to God about that. We're going to give him all the grace, the glory. Because he is in large and in charge. And see, that's what we don't do. We want to give him praises, but we want to say what he can do and what he can't do. He can do what he want to do. And it is what it is. That's why I said when that movie Is God Is, I wanted to go see that movie because I'm like, something good's got to come out of that movie. And I'm wrapping this all up. that if you know what I'm saying, and some of you going, you're all over the place. No, I'm not. You just wasn't here at the beginning of the conversation. So now you don't know that it's all wrapped up together. But anyway, they wanted to say thank you because yes, he done some horrible things. And yes, somebody is allegedly unalived. And I'm not doubting that at all. I'm not doubting that. We don't know. And in the way that it looks like that's what it is. But I'm going to tell you guys something. Because all the other stuff he done, yeah, it is what it is. But I'm going to tell you something. Because I have seen, and I'm not trying to be hopeful, but I have seen 10, 15, 20 years go by, and now this person is here. And just like the one lady, she been missing for 20 years. And it was a young girl, and it's been recently in the last month. And she's got a full family, married, kids and all. And they was looking for her forever. And a family member took her or something, and she and they trying to say she went willingly, she ran away, and blah 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 blah. When that wasn't the case. A family member did her, and she's going by a whole different name, and I ain't seen nobody get arrested or nothing. She said she don't want to accuse nobody. She trying to say she was like 8 or 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? Now somebody should have went to jail. If we're looking for an 8 or 9 year old girl and she survived. Normally 8 or 9, you come up missing, you're dead. You're gone. But she 8 or 9, and she's now a grown woman, 30, 40, with children, married. And she was like, I don't want to talk about it. It's a life that I want to leave in the past and blah, blah. Yeah, that's because you love your mom or dad or whoever took you, or your auntie or whoever took you and raised you. And I'm going to say something. I'm not judging because we don't know why that parent took the child. I'm not saying it's not always just cut and dry. They took the child because they were selfish. Sometimes parents gonna do what they gonna do, and they say if they have to deal with the consequences, they gonna deal with the consequences. I faced that myself. I was like, I would never gave my daughter to her dad. I would have never. Shoot, I would have took off with my child. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have known what she would have had to go through, But, I was selfish too when it comes to my kids. And I'm just looking back because I know my son's dad wouldn't hurt him, but he wasn't going to give him the best life that he could. So when my son's dad wanted custody of him, I was ready to run because for one, I'm not a bad parent. And for two, I'm going to give my kids as everything that I possibly can. And that may not be a lot, but I know that nobody else is going to do that because nobody loves them like I do, And I'm not saying the dad didn't love the child. I'm just saying he didn't love him like I loved him. Like, shoot, if there was only but cornbread to feed the kid, I would give cornbread to my kid and not eat for a whole year. And I wouldn't. If I just know that's all that they gonna get. And they say, well, Mom, you can eat I'll be like, no, that's okay. Give it to the kids. Let the kids eat. Well, mom, you need strength. I know, but just let the you know. I did. Only reason why I would eat is so that I would be strong enough to make good decisions and to protect them. I wouldn't eat because I'm hungry. I would eat only because I need to keep my energy to protect them. That's it. Go find some more food. Go find some more work or whatever. And so anyway, back to what we were talking about. They said that I put like, like, ask me why did and I don't know if you guys did go and pray. I know I did. I think we prayed over online. I don't know. But anyway, they were saying it was weird. Not weird in a weird way, but it was weird how, we first, like, we didn't know he was going to commit the S, but we prayed that, because at the end of the day, God, if you know God, if you really do know God, this is Sunday, so y'all shouldn't have a problem talking about the Lord today. But if you really know God, you know he don't want none of us to end up in HE double hockey stick. He don't want none of us. So for us to sit there and wish, and I'm going to tell you, I have wished it on a person before. I told him to go to straight that HE double hockey stick. But, I was young, immature, angry, very upset, knew what I was saying, but they made me so angry. It was like, sometimes we don't care what we say because I'm angry, I'm mad. But like, why are you playing these games? And then we got all of this we're going to lose because you're playing games. And so they was like, you're worried about what you're going to lose. Yeah, because I invested. You didn't, like if you would invest, you would be saying the same thing. But you're sitting there like, I don't care because you got nothing to lose because you never had anything. But we're there. And now we're going to just throw it all away. You're not going to be happy where you end. You're going to live with your choices. But, and that's just marrying somebody for the wrong reason and just to be married. And, I was looking at it as a business opportunity when I got married the first time. It was like, if you get married, you're gonna have your man that whatever you guys do, y'all gonna do it together, and that means your forces is gonna be stronger. That's what I thought. Business. Yeah, I'm gonna have somebody that's gonna have my back. I'm gonna have their back. We gonna go into this world. We gonna do what we do. And when I fall, he's standing. When he falls, I'm standing. I'm like, I got you. I'm pulling you up. You pulling me up. We're pulling each other. We're supporting each other. And we did. Until he wants to take everything and go run and play. And just, drugs and women and run the streets, and I'm like, no. Well, he was so far that's what he want to do. I want to have fun. That's what he said. Like, what do you mean have fun? We're married. This is your fun. Your fun is your family. Your fun is we go to work, we do what we do, we go to our business, we do what we do, we come in, we enjoy it together. And he didn't get that. So when we got to a certain height, and this is what I tell you guys, you got to realize who you married to. We got to a certain height where he had never seen this kind of money come in before. He don't want to share with me because the way that we're conducting business is to stay on business, stand on business. No, he wanted everybody in the world, the homeboys, the ones in the streets and stuff. See, look at me. I'm doing this. I'm that. I'm this. I'm that. Let's take the money and flip it. Let's. No, I don't want to be chased by the police. I don't want them looking at me. For what? We're taking all the understanding of logic and reason and managing and money that you did when you was a kid. You know, you did a lot of things. You sold drugs, or you stole clothes, and you did this, did that, and do everything the right way. And guess what? You're doing well. You're doing good. Nah, that's boring. I don't want to sell a t-shirt. I don't want to sell a pair of shoes. Now that we got all this money, let's sell drugs. I'm like, no, sir. No, we're not. No, we're not doing that. Well, that's what I want to do. And I'm like, well, how can God bless you and you're destroying families with the poison? You know, there's people out there that, and this is something. I hadn't had my little one yet, but I had brothers that was out there that was addicted on some type of, narcotic drug or whatever. And my family was going through the blues, still in the car and taking the food out the pantry and freezer and, taking the TV and the computers and the things and selling it and stuff. So I seen it that it was destroying relationships, bondships, kinship. It was destroying a lot. And then it was destroying them also, which you now see people that was really out there, they look old as heck. I go to work and I just be working and I tell the people that I'm working with or something, I say, you should be able to do this job with no problem. I'm going up and down this hall, and do. Let's do this, let's do that. And they'd be like, girl, I'll be like, what? I was like, hey, I'm 60. You're 28. You should be able to run circles around me with no problem. Because when I was 20, when I was 28, 30, 25, shit. Wasn't no lights coming on, people wanting to be changed. You got changed every 2 hours, no matter what. Or we checked you and turned you and repositioned you. Nobody have to tell me to do that every day. Every day. You should know your job by now, every day. And so I'm just, and I be asking God I'm like, I had a friend, a so-called friend. And I say so-called because how the friendship ended. I believe sometimes We are friends to people, and people are not friends to us. So I was a friend to her, and I thought she was a friend to me. But then at the end of our friendship, because it did end, I I I I felt like she was not being a friend to me, and it could have changed. At one time she was a friend, and then things changed. But you know, you never know. Like, I just know at the end of our friendship, um she said something to the point like, this is what you think and this is what you believe about me. And I didn't think nothing bad about her. I mean, I don't know what, to be honest, a person can do to make me not want to be friends with them, because at the end of the day, like, we all have done some stuff. So I'm not going to sit there and judge you, because I mean, there's nothing you could do. Like I said, that would make me, I know everybody have a reason. I have a best friend that I've been friends with for 34 years. And I know 34 because my son is 34. So that's how I know how long of a friendship we've had. And we don't talk all day, every day, or every year. Or I haven't talked to this person in like 2 or 3 years. But we are the best of friends. But anyway, like, if they call me, they be like, hey, and I'll be like, hey, how's it going? And and you need anything, or what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I mean, we're to a point now, we're older, where it's like, what's going on in your life? But before, it was like, hey, do this, do this. And I told my friend, hey, I'm not in the streets. I told you I changed my life a long time ago, and I ain't going back to the streets or whatever. And they was like, well, that's on you. I'm still going to do this and do that. Oh, okay. Well, that's what you do. Well, I was going to tell you guys, my one friend that I've been friends with for 34 years, it's a guy, and my husband knows. So y'all can't call him and say, SP got a friend, a male friend that she's been friends with for 34 years, and and because guess what? That's not going to change just because I got married, like, it's still going to be my friend. And I have to tell him, I'm married, and this, he don't want you calling me every day or every month or every year or whatever. But, we going to keep in touch and all this other stuff. This ain't the first rodeo. This is my second marriage. So you know how the first one went? Yeah, we still cool. Anyway, that friend, to tell you guys, when I met him 34 years ago, I was pregnant with my son when I met him. He didn't care. He said, we still gonna be friends. Well, this person unalived his father. Yeah, y'all heard me. And we sit down and we had a full conversation. What happened? Why'd you do it? How you feel? How your family feels about it? And now what's going on? And I mean, and so people be like, what? What? Say that again, SB? He unalived his father. Yes. Aren't you? Somebody killed somebody. Yeah. Okay, so tell me, you know, you want to be friends and you don't have friends and you want to tell me what happened, but I need to know what happened. What happened? You see? Well, at a young age, I think, and I may get the details mixed up with the age. I don't know, 7, 8, 9, I don't know. I don't remember. But his father would come in the house and beat his mother, which she had 13 kids. 13, you guys, all by the same man up in Kansas City. You know, that's where I grew up at, right? So anyway, Cuban and black and nice looking, real nice looking. You know, they get a receding hairline really quick. I think he started getting his receding hairline early, just like his son. So he has a son and a daughter. But anyway, the father would be beating his mother. I mean, beating her, beating her. And it happened all the time. And so that one particular time, he was beating her and she was screaming and hollering for help and help and help. And I don't know. I don't know if he was stomping her, hitting her with a closed fist. I don't know what he was doing. I wasn't there. But for a child to see that his mother getting beat like that or whatever, he knew where the GUN was at. And he didn't really understand of pulling the trigger, but he just wanted his dad to stop beating his mother. And so it happened. And so wasn't no charges pressed or anything. A lot of counseling. It ruined him for life. Like the family scared of him, and then the family had to keep surviving without a provider. You know, a man that pays all the bills and go to work and all that, and then the mother still gotta love her son. You know, there's going to be a difference there. And so he was able to confine in me his feelings, you know. And I was like, I didn't be like, oh, okay. No, I wasn't like that. I was asking 50 million questions. It's like, dang, you know, do you still see that? Do you still see that day that happened? And like, yeah, you know, the blood and the crying and the emotions and the police and the interrogation and how the family moved forward, and it was just crazy. So he got on drugs really bad, and it just messed him up. But anyway, you know, people overcome stuff, or they try to overcome stuff, and then we sit there and know one little detail, and then we want to judge people. So like I said, you know, like, I'm not saying I can be a friend to everybody, but I'm saying I wouldn't hold something you've done in your past against you. Because surely there's more to it than you just done this. Like, I look at my life and I be like, I'm okay now. I'm good. Only thing I want to do. And I try to tell my husband that. He'd be like, yeah, she's a homebody. She just likes to stay at home all the time. No, I don't like to stay at home all the time. But I do know one thing. I'm not getting in no trouble. I'm minding my own business, keeping my house clean, making sure my bills is paid. I'm enjoying life. I get to see things and everything, but, I don't want to argue with nobody. I don't want to be angry with people. Matter of fact, the Bible tells us to live a simple life. It does. I don't know where it is. Let me see. It tells us to live a simple life. Where in the Bible does it tells us to live a simple life?
While the Bible doesn't use that exact phrase, it encourages a simple life. Passages like 1 Timothy chapter 6, Matthew chapter 6, and Hebrews chapter 13 promote contentment and freedom from materialism. It suggests focusing on God and living a quiet, focused life rather than worrying about possessions.
Exactly. So, you guys see what I'm saying? It says, but godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that. But it says live a quiet life. I think it says live a quiet life. Let me see that. So make it your ambition to lead a quiet life. You should mind your own business and work with your hands. 1 Thessalonians 4:11. Live a quiet life. Lead a quiet life. Keep your lives free from love of money and be content with what you have. Better a little with the fear of the Lord than great wealth with turmoil. But yeah, so anyway, so lead a quiet life. So that's what it says. And that's, let me see where that was at again. Live a quiet life. Oh, 1 Thessalonians 4:11. So I try to live a quiet life, That's it, So that's why, like, I don't try to get in arguments with people and stuff. And when I go to work, I have to deal with people. You just got to. But, I am going to get me this app and get back in my Bible studying. 1 Timothy 6:6-8. But godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing in this world, and we could take nothing out. 1 Thessalonians 4:11. We find out how important it is for God to be simple. Make it your goal to live a quiet life, minding your business. Yeah. Living a simple life can help us put God first. Simple living can help us focus on demonstrating the value of Jesus. I got a friend at work, and he's up in Kansas City. They go on these lodgings once a year or something, and he takes off for 10 days. and they go up in the mountains. I don't know where there's mountains in Topeka. These in Topeka, Kansas. I don't know. I mean, I guess there's mountains up there or something, but they're doing cabin. They're living in these cabins or whatever. But that's all they do for the 10 days. They read scriptures, they do Bible study, they focus, they pray for hours. Then, you got no phone, no TV, no radio, no outside distractions, and you walk around, you talk to your brothers, and you could talk about anything. You could talk about your kids, you could talk about your family, you could talk about business, you could talk about anything. But you got no distractions. You got no distractions of the world. You've got just you and people of the same mind liking. And so for the next 10 days, he's not going to come back to work until the 26th. Yeah, he'll be back to work on the 26th. And I will not be working that day. No problem. No problem. So, anywho's, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So, yeah, I was working some days. I put in 4 days that I thought he was working, and he's not. No, I knew he wasn't working. He's got an R there. That means he took off from work. He took off a lot of work. It's crazy. Anyway, that's what was up. Anyway, we were talking about, people and families, like, I don't think nothing bad of nobody. I don't think you could have done anything worse than what my best friend has ever done. I mean, if I put it on a scale 1 to 10, and 10 being the worst thing in the world, is either taking your parents out or taking your kid out. He's done it. You see what I'm saying? I think that's the worst thing in the world. Taking the kids out or taking your parents out. You done it. So, no. Sometimes, you do have to judge a book by its cover, but sometimes, you got to read the whole book. Good morning, Tina Powers. How are you? She said, good morning, sunshine. Just trying to get our channel back, and we got it back. And yeah, they just took my money, but it's all good. At least it's paid up for the full year. Mm-hmm. I should have said no. Then they would have shut down my card, and I would have been like, oh, but no. Yeah. So. Yeah. We could have waited on that. But, I don't see we're getting a good deal paying it all up front, but that's all it is. Paying it for. I usually like to be on a monthly subscription, and they stuck the yearly subscription on there, and I'm thinking I'm paying the monthly, and then they threw it in annually, and I clicked on it, and boom, there I was. So anyway, but it is what it is. Shoot, they say it ain't tricking if you got it. So, taking care of a lot of stuff that, I normally can't take care of it. Like I said, been living a good life, having a good life. So life is good. Life is good. Life be lifing. But all my friends, all my used to be friends, I still love my friends. I mean, I may not talk to them because they, I think that the ones that get mad at you because they got a thinking about you that is not you, and I'm not going to let them put that on me. Now you're wrong, because I already told you, no, that's not me. That's like somebody wanting to tell you ugly, and you like, I'm not ugly. And they like, yeah, you are ugly, and you ugly. I'm like, no, I'm not. Well, we're not going to be friends if you sitting there saying, you want to keep calling me ugly, and I don't think I'm ugly. Why would I want to know what's in the back of your mind that no matter what I say, you're going to still think I'm ugly, or whatever I do, you're going to still think that I'm ugly? And I'm telling you, no, that's not, and I do value friendships and things of that nature, but I don't let nobody, I don't care who you are. I don't let nobody put me in a box. I don't care. I just have to miss you from afar. Because, baby, at the end of the day, I got to love myself, and I know who I am. And that's just the way it is. You may not like what I said or something, but take it in consideration. Meant no harm. But no, I'm not ugly, It's just kind of like, maybe you got me mixed up with somebody else or something. Or maybe I got some traits that somebody was ugly. So you thinking since I got the same traits, or because I'm gonna say what's on my mind, you're gonna take it to a whole different level. No, I'm not going to let you or anybody else, nobody, not even my husband, not even my kids, not even my mother, nobody put something on me that's not true. It's not true. And I still love you, but that's not true. But if you want to believe what you want to believe, fine, go believe it over there. But you will not be entertaining me believing something about me that's not true. It's not true. You know what I'm saying? So all of it in a box, put it all together. I'm just saying that the family, Jarvis's family, said thank you, because just praying for the family member. That's all. That's all. That's it. And I had to explain it because we got people that are hell-bent determined. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Because you said pray for that person, blah, 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 blah. I don't mean nothing. You get mad about what I said or what, go take it up with the Lord. He the one said it. We supposed to pray for each other. He the one said it. Whether we good, bad, indifferent, ugly, white, pink, purple, orange, or whatever. We did this, we did that. We all done things that are embarrassing. We've all done things that we don't want nobody to know we've done. I'm not saying go hand them your baby or let them date your child, or I said pray. That's it. And I'm not nobody important. I'm just telling you what the Lord tells us to do. And then at that time and I even said on the channel, I don't even know where this is coming from, that, the spirit is telling us to pray. Because it definitely wasn't me. Because I already knew. I was like, these people gonna, and guess what? And right after that happened, guess what happened? Channel was just all discombobulated. Somebody said, I'll show her something. Tina says, SP, those phone calls that Jarvis made while he was in jail, they're discussing not one time. Did anyone say anything about Naziah or ask? No. Tina, I've been charging my phone up. Hold on. It's on 77%. And family was in here, and she was saying that I guess Jarvis, Steph Girl 101 had sent me messages about, matter of fact, I'm finna call you, Tina. Hold on. I guess I got to turn my phone on. Shit. Let me turn my phone on. It charges faster when my phone is not charged, turned on. It's Sunday morning. Praise God. So happy I'm on phone and caught you. How have you been? Girl, I've been doing good. We was trying to get our channel back up and running, doing what it does. But most of it's my fault because I kept putting it off that I was going to get to it. And the reason why I didn't get to it, I had to work 7 straight days in a row. Look, Sugar Mama done called. Oh, yeah, some people done called. But I need to call Tina real quick. So, like if the spirit tells you to say something or do something, I'm going to do it. I don't know about the phone calls. I want to know.
Okay, so I can send you the link.
No, don't send me a link. Just tell me what's been going on. Because I've been, like I said, when our channel got shut down, I couldn't get on or anything. And so I kept putting it off, and then I had to work them 7 days. And I just said, I'll get to it. And then I'm in the middle of renewing my license, and then I got to get a new roof put on my house, and everything done happened other than the dog didn't run away with the spoon yet. But just tell me what's been going on, Tina.
Well, to make it short, sweet, to the point.
Let me turn you up. I don't.
This lady, I forget her name, but anyway, she went and dug up the phone calls of Jarvis.
Mm-hmm.
And, basically what's going on is that, when shit hit the fan, excuse my language, Shannon and all them were talking, and Shannon did confront Jarvis about the text messages. She was like, well, these are the same things that you would say to a grown woman, So anyway, make it short, sweet, to the point. Jarvis and all these females that he was talking to, they didn't even ask about Naziah. They didn't care about Naziah. One girl, she was like straight to the point. Why do I gotta worry about a girl? My kids are fucking here, and that's what she said.
Okay.
She
basically to the point she didn't care. I don't know who did what or who said what, but anyway, that's the thing to the short, sweet, to the point.
Oh, so what you're telling me is there's phone calls out there while he was in jail, and nobody talked about Naziah. He was just chit chatting with him.
Yeah.
And so people was asking the women that he was chit chatting with, what's going on?
Now, I listened to every phone call they was, and they are disgusting. One girl, she didn't, like I said, she didn't care about the young lady. She's a young child. So I'm gonna put it like that. She's a child. She was straight to the point. She was like, "Well, why should I give a ding dong care? My kids are here. What did you do? But anyway, if anybody would like to listen to these phone calls,
No.
they're out there. They're out there. They're
No.
out there.
Yeah, we're not going to share the link to
No. They're out there. They're out there. Mm-hmm.
But they ain't about nothing, though. I mean, you got to think.
Not about nothing.
Well, it's just going to get you upset more. I mean, they were his girlfriends, or was it just? I don't. Huh?
Was fiance, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
She was talking to him more than Shannon and all of them. But the girlfriend was talking to him more. And one morning she was half asleep, half woke, and talked like she had S in her mouth or shit in her mouth. Excuse the language, but you could barely hear her talking.
Mm-hmm.
So she was talking about her dog, and she was talking about this, and she was talking about that. Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But if anybody's interested, they're out there. I'm just letting y'all know that, it's going to piss you off even more,
Yeah. Well,
It's nice to see you.
Well, I told you we're not going nowhere now. It was just I couldn't understand why the last couple of times I had to get on my phone to get online, and I couldn't understand why. And then, I had to go back and subscribe again. And so it was a lot. It was a long process, and I was like, I'm just not even gonna fool with it right now. And then I had 7 straight days from the 10th to the actually from the 8th. 7 days from the 8th to the 14th. I worked straight.
Right.
I worked 3 days of somebody else's shift, and it was hard because I only worked. They only really let you. They say doing 3 in a row is a lot.
Oh yeah.
So doing 7 in a row was unbearable.
Exactly.
So only thing I was doing was coming home, getting the rest so I can go back and be 100% efficient at work, and I wouldn't pass out,
Yeah.
And it was a lot. But I knew I was missing a lot. And when I did have time, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna Pooh Bear was coming," and then Pooh Bear's grandpa died too at the airport, trying to get here, and they found him at the airport.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, so it is a lot of stuff happened in the last, 10. You might as well say 10 days. It's been like 10 days, 2 weeks. A lot was happening that dealing with. And now we're getting ready for a funeral for Pooh Bear's grandpa on his mother's side.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
Well, give Pooh Bear hugs for all of us, and tell him that his SP family, is praying for him, and his mom,
yeah,
and that's a hurting feeling.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on, and then Diesel. I took him to the doctor. Friday was my first day of being off work. Friday, let me see.
Right.
Yeah, Friday was my first day being off work. And then, so I had to take Diesel to the doctor to make sure he's okay,
Right.
just his annual checkup, and he's doing fine.
Well, good.
Yeah. And like, I didn't get the call until Friday evening that they took Pooh Bear out of school and they were sitting up there at the airport waiting on Grandpa to arrive. He never did arrive, and they finding out that his ticket was never redeemed. So they looking all over for him, and they found him in the airport bathroom dead.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh dang.
And so yeah, that's been something.
Yeah.
So I am happy that you guys are staying on. I mean, but I am glad that God gave me a break
Yeah. Sometimes we need that.
from it, because it's just was all like it was just too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were focusing more on, or I was focusing more on, and you guys probably didn't notice, but like the anger and the hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hurt because it was a child that nobody paid attention to. Yeah. And
we've been invested with Naziah for 2 years.
yeah.
2 years.
And think,
nobody, you can't tell me that nobody didn't care.
no, nobody didn't. But here's the thing. And I'm not saying it like, okay, well, that was yesterday. I'm not saying it like that. It may sound like that, but it's not really like that. It's just it is a fact that she is gone,
Yeah.
And but what about the children now? Like,
Yeah.
how can we even detect a child in need? Or I mean, it's almost impossible. We can't really.
Right.
We didn't even know Naziah, even how to say her name, and where she lived at and what was her situation. We didn't know nothing until it was happening.
Yeah.
It had happened.
That's true.
So
That's true.
that's because we need to get back into talking to our kids and our grandkids and knowing what's going on with them. And when kids have a problem, we think, okay, so like, say for an example, let's put Naziah in there for an example. Naziah mother's not in her life all the time. 90% of the time her mom's not there. Her mom's out there running the streets, on drugs, whatever. That's why we were talking about, I can't be with somebody that wants to sell drugs. I just can't. Because
Right.
you're enabling them to be a good parent by having this, and having it where they can get to it, and you're not sitting there like, hey, call me, but you are.
Yeah.
You're like, I got what you need. You can always call. I'll give you a discount. Oh, you bringing the baby carriage, or you got some Pampers with you? Well, I ain't got no money. Okay, well, can suck this or suck that or do this or do that. you know,
Yeah.
and so now they're trying to get the next fix and not tending to their children.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got Naziah that's now living with the grandmother that should have been okay. That should have been okay.
It should have been okay, but guess what? It won't.
It wasn't.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't okay. Because now you got grandmother and she got her daughters. And so they're all interested in having a man. It don't matter, just a man, a man.
Yeah.
And he's spending twos and fuses, some nickels and quarters and dimes, and $10 here and $5, doing what the heck he want, plus coming over. So you're allowing him to pick up these girls.
Yeah.
And
It's just disgusting.
and so
I mean,
when people tell me, and I'm not blaming nobody, and I'm not pointing no fingers, but logically, to be honest with you, you don't let no man, no man, I don't care who he is, pick up a carload of girls
mm-mm,
by themselves.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
You just don't do that.
No,
That's a no-no.
that's a no-no.
And you're not with them. You're just, and I don't know their dynamic or how they did things, but it seemed to me that he had free range.
Yes.
He came and went when he wanted to.
Exactly.
And they dropped the kids off there. And here's the sad part. See, a lot of this just does not make any sense. So when they say, well, they didn't know this and they didn't know that, and it would have been a red flag, why would you drop off some girls at a car shop?
Yeah.
A car shop is for boys and men.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dirty job. You ain't even got running water. So what are they cleaning? And they're so young. What could they do to assist you in you say, oh, they're making money. They're making a little bit of money. Okay. Well,
No. Okay. No. Hey, SP, let me go ahead and get this ride so that way I can go to work.
okay, babe.
Okay.
All right. So Miss Phyllis says, oh my God, thank you, Miss Phyllis, for the prayers. The sad part about it is that he was talking to these girls and their mother was asking about him. So who will teach these poor girls out here what to look out for if their mama is all messed up? Right? Well, that's the thing. The thing about, let me clean my glasses off because I got so much stuff on my glasses. Oh, I'm gonna have to get me some lens cleanser. Women are very funny. You guys know about women. You tell a woman something, she ain't gonna listen to you. She ain't gonna listen to you. She like, this is my life. It's almost like we're little kids. You know? And the sad thing about it is, especially, and I'm just going to say this, you know, And I may not be right about it because I don't know the other spectrum. But being a Black woman and looking at Black women, we are so it's embarrassing. It's like we crave for a man's attention, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But you should be craving to take care, making sure your kids are okay. But we don't. If one woman tries to tell us something, we don't want to listen. We said, if a woman come up to you today and say, yeah, your man has it with my, 5-year-old, we'd be like, girl, and I'm going to tell you something. We just have to try to reach those that we can't. Exactly. We do. Phyllis, you're right. We do. And we try. But you know what happened? You're going to have some women that sit back and be like, I don't care what she said. I don't care what she talking about. Blah, 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 blah. I got him. He's the man is mine. I got him. Da, 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 da. It ain't even got to be a man, to be honest with you. It could be a woman. It ain't even a man, really. It's people. So let's not get that twisted that it has to be a man. Because remember, the two women that was in a relationship, and they were staying at the motel, and the one woman beat that little girl to death, and then they went and got a rental U-Haul and buried her in the freaking woods. And so let's not say it's just men, because it's not. It's not just men. So yeah. So yeah, we do got to let me see here. We just have to try to reach those that we can.
That's a grounded approach. Focusing on those you can help ensures your support is genuine and impactful, preventing burnout and allowing you to connect effectively.
And that's why I say, I think sometimes we get burnt out. So if you are looking for specific, actionable ways to channel that energy around, you can always volunteer sometimes. Oh, she said her sinuses is working. Girl, and you didn't even hear me. Now, I've got a sinus infection. Yeah. That's why I didn't come on and you guys see me, because, yeah. So we're dealing with the same thing. She said, keep praying, loving, and being watchful. Exactly. So you can volunteer places. You can volunteer at food banks. You can volunteer at the Red Cross, United Ways, the library, often looking for volunteers for their literacy program, which is one of the most direct ways to help others gain valuable skills. You can volunteer. If you be a volunteer somewhere at animal welfare, senior cares, or housing, or some stuff like that, you can always thoughtful ways to take on, and this is how you see these. But who's going to sit there and go, I'm going to volunteer? I'm going to volunteer. No, we're not. because that would just it's crazy. Anyway, you guys, we're going to get off of here. I'm going to get off of here, and I will see you guys soon, okay? Let's see. Let me see if it's going to end, and it's going to let me end the live and put up our thing, our outro. Yeah, it is. There we go. There we go. All right, you guys. Be good, be safe, and be nice to each other. Bye.